Hi, my name is Tamir, and I'm going to do a tutorial about using the Roland JUNO-Gi keyboard with a PC to understand how to do it. The basics that we need the DAW software like Sonar. My demonstration will be with the Sonar X2. You can use Cubase if you want, Fruity Loops, any other DAW, but in this tutorial I will use Sonar. My operating system is Windows 7 64 bits. Now let's go to the business. The first thing that we will do, we need a driver for the JUNO-Gi. The JUNO-Gi don't need nothing but a USB cable. USB cable is this USB cable. If you can see, one side to the computer it's the USB, the other side of the cable it's this side to the JUNO-Gi. This is all we need. You don't need any audio cables from the JUNO-Gi to the computer or to your sound card, because the JUNO-Gi equipped with internal sound card, so we don't need another sound card. Anyway, let's go and download the drivers for the JUNO-Gi. JUNO-Gi drivers. We are going to the site of Roland of the JUNO-Gi. We will download the JUNO-Gi version for Windows 7 64-bit edition. Okay, we will hit here the agree and download. I already downloaded it, but I want you to see how I do it. So I open the file, cut it, put it on my dedicated JUNO-Gi folder on the desktop. I already have it, but you won't. Afterward, after you have the file, you just extract it to this folder. Here is my file. Now I will hit setup, next, next. Okay, please use USB cable to connect the JUNO-Gi and your computer, and then okay, now I will connect my JUNO-Gi to the computer. We'll turn it on. The JUNO-Gi was powered off. Okay, the computer recognized the driver and continue with the installation, and the installation completed. If we are going to our voice control of the Windows, Now we will see the JUNO-Gi out in the recording. We see the JUNO-Gi in. Okay. The next thing that we will do, we will download Audio for All. Audio for All, it's a universal audio driver. I'm downloading it for one reason, and I will explain it later on this tutorial. This tutorial is going to be a little bit long, so be patient. Let's go to the audio, download the audio, and install the audio. Next, install, finish. That's all. Okay, now there is an PDF file that explains everything about the connection between the JUNO-Gi and your computer. This is the file. If you want to find it on Google, you just take the name of the file. You see, this is the name, JUNO-Gi WS06, yes, 06. And we will go to Google and we'll Google it .pdf, and you will find it here. You can download it by save with the name, or open it on your computer browser. Okay, anyway, I've got it, so I don't need it. This is the explanation about the JUNO-Gi. The JUNO-Gi have three uses with the computer. First of all, the JUNO-Gi is an audio interface. It means it's an audio card for your computer. As we saw before, let me show you again. If I'm going to the audio control, you can see the JUNO-Gi. The JUNO-Gi is one of my audio controls, sound card. Okay, it's have an out and in. The JUNO-Gi can record everything from the PC and transmit everything that it gets from the PC to the PC back. That's why we installed the Audio for All, and we won't use the JUNO Audio driver, because we don't want the JUNO to transmit audio that it gets from the computer, because in the mix mode, this is what I'm going to explain now. Let me see where it is. Okay, if you can see here, I will do it wider. In the JUNO-Gi menu, if you are going to the menu and to the system, in the system screen, you can see at the USB audio to computer, they have three options. One of them is the mix. This is what we are going to use, the mix option. The other is the input and the input FX. The input and the input FX sends to the computer only the audio of the JUNO-Gi and not the live set. Okay, only the audio, only the input audio, like the microphone or the guitar that are connected to the JUNO-Gi from behind and not the sounds of the keyboard itself. Okay, so the mix sends everything to the computer. The problem with the mix is that it not sends only the keyboards and the audio. Okay, let me put the camera here so you can see. It not send the keyboard and the microphone or the audio. It sends together with them the sound that it gets from the computer itself. So let's say we are recording, it will send to the computer back the metronome sound or the other tracks that working on our project. It will send all back and it will record all of this together. So how do we skip this problem? We installed the Audio for All, and in the Audio for All we will determine that it will take only the in JUNO-Gi, JUNO-Gi in, not the out. So the out will be to our sound card and the in will be the JUNO-Gi. So the JUNO-Gi won't receive the sounds from the DAW, from the computer. It will send back only its own sounds without the sounds that it gets from the computer. This is why we installed the Audio for All and not used the JUNO-Gi itself, the audio of the JUNO-Gi. And now I will explain it and show it on the sonar. The sonar is a DAW. Is a DAW. Okay, now I can't see. Now here you can see the JUNO-Gi, but I can't see the Audio for All. And this is, oh, okay, now I can see it. Now you can see it already chosen the Audio for All. In the JUNO-Gi PDF, they will explain to you, they will tell you to use the JUNO-Gi audio. Okay, I will show you it here. If we're going here to the MIDI stuff, you see they are using the JUNO-Gi out and in the sonar. This is explanation to the Sonar X1, but it's the same, almost the same, exactly. I will not use the JUNO-Gi in and out. I will use the Audio for All, and I show you now how to configure the Audio for All. Anyway, I'm choosing the Audio for All. I will hit enter. Okay, never mind, close. Again, I will push the letter P on the keyboard, on the computer keyboard, to get to the preferences. Now, if we are going to the driver settings and we will push the Audio panel, in the Audio panel, if I will mark this with this red X, now I can get the audio to connect with all of my audio drivers, audio hardware. Okay, now I will mark the JUNO-Gi and my Realtek. Realtek is my original sound card from the computer. When I open it in the Realtek, I will use the output. Okay, the headphones or anything you want. And from the JUNO-Gi, I will use only the input, not the output. Okay, now I'm saving it and going to devices. I will hit enter. Now file. Let's open a clean project test. Okay, this is a clean project. Now if I will hit P again, P its preferences, now I can see the JUNO-Gi. The input is the JUNO-Gi through the Audio for All, and the output is my sound card from the computer. Why is that? So the JUNO-Gi won't get the sound from the sonar and transmit it back to the channel that I'm recording on. Okay? So now let's go to the MIDI section. In the MIDI section, if we are going, the device we will choose is the JUNO-Gi. The JUNO-Gi is our keyboard that controls the computer, the DAW. Okay? In the instruments, though, let's hit enter. Okay, P again. In the instrument, now I can see the JUNO-Gi 16 channels. Okay? Now I want to define these instruments. Okay? Let's take off all of the patches of the JUNO-Gi and I will install them again so you can see how to do it. Okay, now this is what you get till this point. Now we are going to instrument defined. At the defined we are going to press the import. In the import we are going to file downloaded from the internet, from the Roland site, Roland driver side of the JUNO-Gi. I can show you it here. Okay, let's see. Okay, if you can see here, okay, selecting the JUNO-Gi as a MIDI controller. For this we will need this Cakewalk Sonar instrument definition list file. These files can be downloaded from this link. I will push this link and it will connect me to Roland site, and here it will give me the drivers and the definition list. You can see it here. Okay, let's take it. I agree and wish to proceed with the download. Save, open, cut, and pass it to the JUNO-Gi. I already have it, but I'm doing this for you. And then extract everything and you get this JUNO-Gi ins. Okay? Okay, cool. Now we are going back to the sonar. In the sonar we go now to our JUNO-Gi to our JUNO-Gi folder, sorry, JUNO-Gi folder. In this folder we already have a folder called JUNO-Gi it means instruments, and now we will take every one of them. Let's take the live set. We put it on. Now I can see it on this list. JUNO-Gi live set. Import rhythm. And import tones. Close. Okay, now I will take all of these channels except channel 10. To mark them I will hold the shift and the arrow down together and it will mark everything. And when I will push the control and the mouse, On channel 10, only channel 10 will not be marked. For now, I will take all these 15 channels to the JUNO-Gi live set. Okay? And the channel 10, I will take it to JUNO-Gi rhythm. Okay? And that's all, and press enter or OK. Now, if I will add a MIDI track, you can see in the MIDI track, it recognizes the JUNO-Gi, and I can choose a live set, a bank. This is the user bank, this is the presets, and let's choose let's say the stage EP. The problem I saw that in this let me take you back to the preferences. In the live set it's not working. I don't know why. Only a tone work. Live set not working. I will show you now. If I'll play now, I'm triggering on the JUNO-Gi the MIDI control button, so the JUNO-Gi will play the sounds that I give him here. Okay, you see all the sounds, it's play the piano. This is the problem with this with the Roland live set. But if I choose the tone, if I'll go to preferences and take this 15 channels except channel 10 and take them to the tone and enter, now channel 1, now it will give me the sound that I want. Okay, but the problem is that the sound is not coming to the computer with the effects of the JUNO-Gi. It's coming flat, and you are losing very much of the richness of the sound with the JUNO-Gi effects on the sound. I will give you example. If you have, I suppose that you have a JUNO-Gi, then you know there is a sound called, in the guitar section, if I go to sound number, let's take, okay, the sound number is 325. It's called Syrincosm. I will give you to hear it. It's a distortion guitar, but if I will choose it through the tone here, this is the problem. Let's see what's happening here. I will choose it here. Okay, this is the tone, and it's supposed to be around here. You see Syrincosm, it's the same sound. Okay, but let's see how this sounds will hear without any effects on him, the effects of the JUNO-Gi. Now you can see there is no effects, it's a flat sound. I will give you to hear it again without the MIDI control, so it will be from the JUNO-Gi. Okay, you can hear the difference between using the MIDI or using the original sound from the JUNO-Gi. So how can we override this problem? In fact, we are not going to use this section at all. We are going to record track with MIDI without the MIDI control key on the JUNO-Gi pushed on. It should be off. We will choose the sound that we want on the JUNO-Gi as we like, not through the computer. I will now erase, delete this track, open a MIDI track. I will not define this track to nowhere on the JUNO-Gi. You can see here it's blank. So it will play the sound. If the MIDI control is not pushed on the JUNO-Gi, it will play the sound that the JUNO-Gi is on now. So if I choose the piano, it will play the piano. Okay, let's set the tempo to 80. Okay, 100. Now we go to loop 4 bars of recording, and if I press the P again and I'll go to metronome, I will take a pre-count of 1 measure, hit enter. Okay, everything is cool. Now we can start work. I have to arm the channel, the track that I want to record in. This is a MIDI track. It means it will record electric notes. It's electronic beats. It's not a real audio. It will record my keyboard pushing and playing, and it will be playing it. It will send the signals back to the instrument to play it again and again because it's in loop. Let's see how it's works. Okay, I stop recording. Now you can see my playing here. Okay, here it continues, plays and plays again and again. Now the advantage of using sequencer like a Sonar and not using the built-in digital recorder is here we can quantize, we can do many things to the track that cannot do on the digital recorder, that it is in fact a audio recorder only. Now let's see what is quantized. If you can see, I can push twice to see the notes that I played. Now here you can see them. Okay, this is the note that I played. If you can see, it's not sitting exactly on the beat. Okay, so in piano it's okay because it sounds humanly, more humanly, but in drums, let's say, it will sound offbeat and it will sound very bad. Anyway, I will fix that on the piano. How can I do that? I will mark the thing that I want to quantize and will press the Q button on my keyboard of the computer. This will open the quantize screen. I will leave it on 116. It means that it take one bar and cut it for 16 parts, and will take to the nearest part of blank. You can see here in this section what's happening when I press the OK here. Now you can see that some of the notes moved. Okay. Now, what will happen if I'll play and change the tones on the computer, on the keyboard? You see, I change it to electric piano. Let's change it to guitar. So I don't need to use the DAW at all. I can use the sound I want from the JUNO-Gi just like I'm playing it live. Okay. We took this part, it's okay for us. Let's, for this part to, if I open another MIDI channel, what the problem will be, it's the two MIDI channels will play the same sound from the keyboard. And we don't want it. So for every MIDI channel at this system that I'm working, because I don't want to work with the banks and the channels, the 16 channels of this keyboard, because I'm losing the effect, I will record every track after it will be sitting good at the notes as I want. I will record it into an audio track. Okay, so let's call this track piano. Okay, this is the MIDI of the piano. Now let's open an audio track. Let's arm it. Let's call it piano. But here you can see the difference. This is a MIDI. This is a digital notes that sends to the keyboard, but this one is in fact the audio that the computer will record from the keyboard. Now let's record the piano part to the DAW, to the computer. I will hit here the record, I will arm this track, and now in fact this track will play the music piece on the JUNO-Gi, and the JUNO-Gi will transmit the audio to the computer, and this audio track will record the audio from the JUNO-Gi, in fact the audio that this track is playing. Okay, let's see how it's work. Okay, let's widen this a little bit. Now you can see that the piano was recorded. This is a stereo track. You can record in mono, but I prefer in stereo. Okay. Now this is a subtracks, because it can loop and loop again and again, and you can record several tracks together. Anyway, let's take it back, and now let's take this part and make normalize. Normalize is to take the volume of the track, the recording, and to put it higher or lower to fit the track better. Let's see how to do it. I'm going to the process, apply effects and normalize. Here I will choose a little bit not at the end, one less. Now see what's happened. Now the piano will sound much better. Now I will mute the MIDI channel because I don't need it anymore. It's already on audio on my computer. Now I can disconnect even my JUNO-Gi. It's already on the computer and we'll play it from the computer. Okay, that's all. Here we finished. I will keep this MIDI channel even though I don't need it if I will want to change or to duplicate or anything else. So I will keep it alive and we'll go to another channel, another MIDI track, and this will call drums. Okay. Okay, now I will take a rhythm. Okay, now let's see what's happening here. Now let's record, let's disarm this part and record some MIDI notes from the JUNO-Gi. Okay. Continue to record, yes? Now let's mute the piano so we can hear the drums part. You can hear that I was not playing it perfectly. This part is empty, I can delete it. And now let's do the quantize. I will take these two parts and we'll push the Q. Okay, now it will sound much better. Okay, now you can sound it, you can see how it sounds. Now I can bring back the piano and we will open a new track to record the drums, okay, to audio. I will open an audio track and call it drums, and if I want the exact channel on the JUNO-Gi, it will be a 1260 room kit. Okay, bam. Okay, now I will arm this track, and again, because this one is muted, the JUNO-Gi will get the signals from this track only. Listen, now I show you what's the difference. If I mute this track and let this track play, look what happened. You see? Now this track plays the MIDI, but in my keyboard the MIDI is going to rhythm channel. to the preset 1260. So I don't want this one to play, I want this one to play. Okay? Okay, so this part is from now on always muted. I don't need it. I can hear the piano, but only the audio that I recorded, not the MIDI. Now let's record the audio for the drums part. Okay, this one I'm deleting, do not need it. Okay, you can see this is the drum part that we recorded. We don't need anymore the MIDI channel, so we will mute it. We'll take this part. We don't need to quantize it because it's the same as the MIDI part that we already quantized. So we only go to the process and normalize it again to -1, and now we will hear them together. Okay, now look one, this is a nice thing, it's called groove clip looping. You are pushing this and groove clip looping, and it got rounded edges, and now I can repeat it over and over and over. Let's make it till here, till 17, and do the same for the drum parts. Go to the drum channel, groove clip looping, and let's make it till 17. Let's see what's happening here. And let's take this one, sorry, here let's write 17. Okay, okay, now let's add another MIDI track, and let's call it okay, let's call it 335. This is the number of the sound on the Juno, so I will remember the exact sound on this track. Searing Cosmo, okay? Searing. Okay, and the name. This is a distortion guitar, nice sound. Let's do some solo on this part and see what's going on. Now, as you can see, it has recorded my MIDI out. Now you can see it. These marks are of the pitch. I can do quantize to this channel too, but I don't. You need to stay humanized, you know, not exactly on the beat. So anyway, you know what? Let's quantize it. Now you can see everything. And now if I want, I will, if this is okay with me, this is the product that I want on the channel, I can record again. Let's record again, and I will erase this and we'll record again this part, but something a little bit different. Okay, this was an example of what we can do. Let's take it to quantize. Okay, let's see what's going on here now. You see, because I was playing fast and I did quantize, it does not sound good. Let's delete it and leave it as original. Let's record again. Okay. Okay, now again I will open an audio track, arm it, and I will record if this is what I want from the track and it's okay with me. I will record this track to an audio track so I can move on and on to other tracks. Okay, again I will take this channel and process it. normalize it. Okay, wow. Now I don't need the MIDI channel anymore. Let's collapse it, collapse all the MIDI channel. Now I have 3 different audio channels, all of them the sound from the JUNO-Gi, most of them after quantize, and this is my project. Let's play with the sound a little bit. You know what, let's record a singing part. Okay. Okay, here is my, let's close this piano roll. This is my console, so I can define the volume of each track. Okay, you can see here are 6 tracks because there are 3 MIDI tracks and 3 audio tracks. The MIDI tracks I don't care, and the audio tracks, it's what I mostly care. So how can I see what are the MIDI and what are the audio? Okay, everyone with the mute, you see the mute is the MIDI. The piano, here is the piano, this is the audio, this is the drums audio, and this is the steering. I didn't change its name. Let's take the name from here, Control C, here Control V. Okay, now it's the same. Now let's take a little bit of the steering. Okay, now let's put in singing a track. Let's take this down. Let's collapse all of them. Disarm this track. And now for singing we will add only audio, because this is no MIDI, only audio, and let's call it Tamir solo. My name is Tamir, and let's see, let's put some effects on the singing through the Juno voice. Okay. Exit. Okay, this is good. Now, because I'm not recording with earphones, the microphone will hear all the sounds of the other channels. If you are working professionally, I will recommend you to use headphones, so the microphone will hear only your voice and not the other instrument voices in the background. Okay, now this is only for demonstration, so I won't kill my audio system here, and I will record with the audio system together. Anyway, remember it, when you are working, please use headphones, so the playback will be on your headphones and not on loudspeakers outside. Anyway, your headphones should be connected to your computer sound card and not the JUNO-Gi. Remember, in this system, the Audio for All, I made the computer the output and not the JUNO-Gi output. So please connect the headphones to your computer and not to your JUNO-Gi headphones output. Okay, let's mute the steering so it will not bother me on my singing, and let's record some singing. I will arm this track, okay? Let's see. A. Okay, because the speakers are on, I will disable the ticking of the metronome here, so I won't hear the metronome. I don't need it anyway because I already have a drum part, because my microphone will hear the metronome. I will record it with the sounds, with everything. But the metronome will work for one bar, the pre-count bar, okay? Okay, this will be enough. Now I will mark this voice part and go again to the process, apply effects, normalize. Okay, bam. That's cool, easy and cool. Okay, I think this is a conclude. This will be my tutorial end for this part. This is the basics for working with the DAW, for working Sonar X2 and the JUNO-Gi. So why did I use, again I'm repeating myself, but this is very important issue. Why did I use the Audio for All driver and not the JUNO-Gi driver? Because if I'm using the JUNO-Gi driver, I have to use it in and out. And what's going on when you are using the JUNO-Gi in the mix mode? The problem is that the JUNO-Gi transmit back to the computer not only your singing and playing, also it transmits the sound that it gets from the computer itself, the clocking of the metronome and all the tracks that are not muted. So everything will be recorded to the audio track, and we don't want it. So this is the way to work around it, around this problem. When I want to record it, to the JUNO-Gi from the computer, I will use the JUNO-Gi drivers. Anyway, you won't need it, not in your DAW anyway. You will use the JUNO-Gi soundboard if you want, on your computer a daily basis. So if you want to record, let's say, to one of its tracks, on its digital tracks, if you want to record, let's say, a playback of some song, you can do it. This is a very good advantage of the sound card on the JUNO-Gi. It can record from the computer everything that it hears from the computer to any one of his 8 tracks. This is nice thing, but in our case it's making some problems, so we have to use another audio driver and take only the JUNO-Gi in, as you see here, to this driver, and the out to use through another sound card driver. So the JUNO-Gi won't get the sound from the computer and transmit them back to the recorded track. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was pretty clear, and thank you for having the time to see this tutorial. Have fun, and bye bye. Hello people again. Something that I forgot to tell you. You can use the okay, let's continue. I forgot to tell you about something. There are plugins at the DAW. Okay, any DAW, most of them come with plugins. It sounds on the DAW itself, or the software. Let's say the Sonar have many plugins. It's a virtual instruments, so you don't need to use the JUNO-Gi sounds only. You can use the plugins of the software. Let's take the Cakewalk TTS1. If I want to add a track and sound from the Cakewalk itself, from the this plugin, I will press twice on it on the instruments and press OK. Now on the JUNO-Gi, you must at this point press the MIDI control button on. Okay, so the JUNO-Gi won't play its self sound, and only will be used for us as a MIDI controller only, not as a module, a sound module. Okay, now here, let's say we'll open, press twice on the piano. I don't know why it's not working, but oh, okay, now it's working. Presets. Let's take for example a guitar, nylon guitar. Okay, now if you can hear, okay. Now I will mute the piano and the piano track and the steering track, and I will play a track with the guitar plugin from the Cakewalk, and let's see how it's going on. At this situation, you don't need to record. If you are using sounds from inside of the Sonar X2 from the plugins, you do not need to record them to an audio track. Okay, this is a very big advantage. Okay, let's see it here. I will record now a part. Here I will use again a little bit of gain. Gain, it will be more strong voice, and I will set everything back to 0, and on the master I will take a little bit. Okay, I need to arm of course, the track that I want to record in. In our case, it's the Cakewalk TTS1. Let's change it to guitar. Okay. Of course, if I press here, I will see exactly the name of the track and everything. And let's play. Whoa. It's too loud. It's too loud. Let's take the volume down. Okay, now let's gain it up the guitar and see what's going on. I will earth the guitar part and expand it. Okay, this is enough. As you can hear, my singing was very loud, so I can decrease the volume, and I can go to my recording, my original recording of the solo, take this part, and in the process the normalize, I will take it for 3 down. Okay, let's see now. Okay. Okay, you can see I can add more tracks, more beat tracks, or everything I want. This is I hope this is the end of the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and bye.